Okay. Uh, okay. Hello, everybody. I think I hope to do justice for this meeting. I had a very hectic week, so I couldn't prepare a PPT, but I hope I can do justice to it. Okay, so for today's agenda, we have the chapter 4 and a part of chapter 5, like we discussed last time. So the chapter 4 is workflow basics, and what I understand from it is to have a certain coding etiquettes that we follow when we code, and the entire chapter speaks about it. And there are very basic exercises here that that is specific to again coding etiquettes to understand how to better code. So here, yeah, I think we can go through the exercises if required. And here, I don't know how they managed to write the I without the dot on top. I don't know how they do it, but anyway, I think here the mistake is that you're not writing the name of the variable properly. And here again it's a very small thing, but I myself have gone through such mistakes where a small a misspelled way of writing the code, and that ends up with a lot of frustration when you're actually writing production code. So uh, yeah mm, here again it's a filter again spelling issue. I couldn't understand what the error is here in the third exercise. uh
It should be diamonds instead of diamond.
this Oh, it's
Yeah.
diamonds. Okay, it's a diamonds data set. Okay, all right. Okay, so that is the error here. Okay, great. And yeah, so this I think Alt Shift K gives the entire uh, keyboard shortcuts of everything that we can do in R. And I had one doubt here. One when I was going through this, they said that Alt and the minus key will give us the shortcut for this. When we declare a object, we type this out, right? This part. So they said there's an keyboard shortcut for this. I couldn't figure it out. If anyone of you have an idea, that would be nice to know. They said there's a shortcut for this.
Yeah,
Uh,
I use Alt and the minus key. It works for me,
Oh, it didn't work for me.
but I
So
have a Windows, so I'm not what if you're using a
yeah,
Mac.
I have a Windows too. So I don't know, it didn't work for me. So I just wanted to ask. Okay, it's Alt and minus is working out for you.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I don't know why mine is not working, but anyway, I'll figure
Is
it
that because of
out.
like two different alts? I use the left one. I don't know if that's that.
I tried that too, but I don't know. I couldn't get it. It's not that either. Uh, it's weird. I don't know.
But yeah, that's a pretty handy shortcut. I think it saves a lot of
Yeah,
time.
I found that out when I was going through the book. So I tried it, but I couldn't, it didn't work out for me. So I don't know
Hmm.
what the problem is. Yeah, so any one of you have any specific practices that you take up when you code, or any specific coding etiquettes that all of you follow? Any tips? So I think that would be nice to share, because this entire chapter is kind of any small one tip, um, any one of all of you, if there is.
I think one of the main things which I follow is having spaces between all.
Oh,
It just code looks nice, and the other one
okay,
is to have your characters restricted till 80 characters only.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
these are two things I learned the hard way, but now it's very helpful.
What was the
okay,
second one, Aditi?
To restrict the characters, number of characters in a line to 80 or 120, as per like how much ever you want it to be.
Okay. Is there an easy way to count the number of characters?
Actually, in
yeah,
R,
yeah,
you
yeah.
have you can put your line there, like 80 characters. You can just add a line.
I
So
see.
if it's
Okay.
over.
Okay. 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 Yeah, that's very
Hmm.
helpful. I sometimes I create when I'm writing like formally, I kind of create those chapter headers by adding 4 dashes to a comment. So when you add 4 dashes to a comment, it automatically creates a chapter header. So when you go to our markdown and you look at the chunks below, it kind of gives you all the chapter headers in a really nice way. So it becomes easy, like navigation becomes really easy.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, that was all good inputs, yes. I think in anyway, all of us will learn by our own when we have our own experiences. But yeah, it's good to have a heads up of what to follow. Yeah.
I have shared a
Yes.
style guide which you may have seen before. It's written by Hadley. So it is like it's a long document about object names and code and functions
Okay.
formatting.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I try to refer to it from time to time, but I should say I'm not
Yeah.
that disciplined. And every time I look
Yeah.
at it, I pick up a habit which stays with me
Uh-huh.
if I'm
Yeah.
continuing coding for a few
Yeah.
days.
Yes.
That
Yes.
I find myself doing that. So I think one question that I had for the group was, so Hadley recommends using underscores to create object names rather than
Yeah.
using dots.
Exactly. Exactly.
I used underscores, but then I think I changed my habit to use like dots as separators between two words. Do you have any pros and cons for, using underscores versus dots? Is why one should use
I don't use dots at all. Like
Yeah.
it
Same plan.
becomes very confusing to me.
Yeah,
Yes.
Like,
me
Yes.
too. I never use dots. I always use underscore. There is no specific reason for it, but
yeah, it's just that comfort.
right,
Hmm.
yeah.
I recently shifted to dots because I thought, underscore was making the new object look longer. Uh,
I guess underscore for me at least is more readable than dots.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's also another reason. It's more. That is so
Correct.
interesting. Arnab, I also prefer dots actually, but I don't use it because, quote unquote, we are not supposed to use dots and use underscore. But I wanted to ask, what is the reason? What is
Yeah,
the, like,
exactly. Yeah.
why is underscore preferred other than readability, other than like user preference? Is there code wise will R misinterpret things, or is there like a later technical problem that will
Okay,
happen?
so for me, whenever I see column name with dots, right, I have a hint that something is wrong. Because, for example, if you have a data frame with similar names, right, so R will change it to, like, for example, you have column name called X and X, R will change the second X to X dot one, something like that. So that gives me a hint that something is wrong here. That's why there is a dot. So just to avoid that, I use underscore.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, yeah, this was a lot of tips and very informative. Okay, I think we can move on to our next chapter, data transformation. So in this chapter, we will be looking at the functionality of the dplyr package and using the NYC flights 13 that is again within R. So this is the data set that gives the flight details of which left New York City in the year 2013. So for today, I will be taking the second and the third chapter, and in the next session, I will be completing the entire chapter. Um, so I think we can skip directly to the exercises. Um, yeah. So find all the flights that had an arrival delay of 2 or more hours. Oh, sorry, I just clicked. Okay, this is the data set, and okay, I just wanted to see the column names to understand which column I will have to filter. So here, everything is in minutes. So arrival delay greater than 120 will give me all the flights which were delayed of more than 2 hours. Yeah. And the second question is flew to Houston or IAH. I don't know what IAH is. I think it's name of one of the airports, which I'm not very sure. And yeah, so here there are two ways of doing it. Again, here the column name is destination, and IAH and HOU is what we have to filter. And there are two ways of doing it. One using both, giving both with an OR operator, or otherwise using this in operator. Where we can give this as a list column, and that will filter out whatever we need. Both will give the same results. Yeah, I think the more preferred one is the second option because it's just easier. Uh, anyway, both will give us the same output. Were operated by United, American, or Delta. I think these are the carriers. So yeah, these are the carriers, and they have a two-letter name specifically. So United, American, and Delta are these are the abbreviation for them. So yeah, these are the different ways of doing it. Again, here I got in the pipe operator. I think again all this before I was using filter, and the flights was within filter, and here I have used a pipe operator. I think all this also, there has to be a consistency of code when you're doing it, if you're sharing it within your lab and all. So I think even this comes under code etiquettes. You have to follow a certain consistency in your code if you're doing it. I know it's a very small thing. It doesn't affect the final result, but I still feel that we shouldn't overlook it. Anyway, this will give us the same result of same result where yeah, the carrier is United, Delta, and American. According to this, yeah, these are the different methods of doing it. Okay, departed in the summer, July, August, and September. Okay, so now we need to filter out all the flights that departed in July, August, and September. Again, this is in the month column. We just give 7, 8, 9, and our output is out here using filter. Arrived more than 2 hours late but didn't leave late. Okay, so again, arrived more than 2 hours late, we will be filtering from the arrive delay column, and departure delay is 0. So again, all of this is in minutes. So when we run it, we get the flights which satisfy this condition. Were delayed by at least an hour but made up 30 minutes in flight. Okay. So delayed by at least an hour is greater than 60, and were 30 minutes late. Yeah, but made up over 30 minutes in flight. Okay, that is that will be arrival delay minus departure delay will give us all the flights that made up 30 minutes on air. So this condition will give us all the flights would satisfy the condition. Departed between midnight and 6 a.m. Okay, again, we will be using the AND operator for that because it has to satisfy both the conditions that departed between 6 a.m. and midnight. So we are using the AND condition for it, and that will give us the desired output. Another useful dplyr or filtering helper is between. What does it do? Can you use it to simplify the code needed to answer the previous challenge? Okay, I think the immediate application is this, where we need to filter out the flights between midnight and 6 a.m. And if we just give the between function here and the column name that it has to filter from and the values in between which it has to filter. it will give us the answer. And the second thing that we can use is also the question where it asked us to filter out all the flights in the summer. So the month column was given, and between the sixth month and the eighth month, all the flights had to be filtered. So this is how the between operator works. So yeah, filter was, yes.
Sorry, I had a question there. I couldn't. Can I actually paste something in chat? This was not working for me. I don't know why. So when we try to use between, so just like in the previous line that you showed, where
okay, using the pipe operator, I saw you.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed very weird that the first line would work, but the third line won't. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Okay, so when we.
Yes, Deepthi, continue. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, there is an error here. Okay, so it didn't work for you also, right? When you use. Yes,
No.
Ronak is saying something.
Okay, so basically what is happening here is you are passing the first argument to between is flights when you're using pipe.
Oh.
Okay, so you're passing a
Yeah.
data frame, and then second argument you're passing a column name, but that is not what between expects. Between expects a vector which is depth. So basically you could use pipe here if you put curly braces between, like before between and after between, ending there. So maybe something like this should work.
I'm sorry, Ronak, can you please explain to me again why this is not working? Why this particular code is not working?
Okay, so what pipe operator does, is basically it takes the left-hand side of the argument and passes it to the right-hand side, right? So whatever function you are using,
yes.
the first argument of that function is basically the LHS, which is here the flights. Correct?
Yes.
Now, between expects a vector there, which is departure time, depth time, right?
Oh,
But you are passing a data frame
right.
instead of that.
Okay. Yes, okay, that makes sense. Okay, let's just try if.
So in that case,
No,
Ronak,
even then.
why does this not work? So here what I'm trying to do is flight's dollar departure time. So that's a vector. And then trying to pass it on to between. That returns a logical vector.
Okay. Oh.
I think this is correct, right? This is what you do with filter also. You just have to know which vectors are supposed to be there and not. And then that's how it filters, no? Am I making sense?
Okay, the code which Arnab sent, right? That works, right?
Yeah, that's how it's, yeah.
Although I would expect the one which I sent to work, but.
Just a general question: what do the curly brackets mean, and what do they do?
Okay, so here in this case, right, what it does, it stops the first argument to be like, so for example, flights is on the left hand side, right? So that is by default the first argument to the function that we are passing on the right hand side. But using curly braces, we stop that behavior. So we are not passing the left hand side of the argument is not the first argument now. So this works, but I'm not sure why the first one doesn't work.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. So my doubt is here in this part we have put the between function inside filter, but here what we're trying to do is we're just trying to put between through a pipe operator using the data set of lights. So shouldn't it always go within the filter function, or can it go standalone like this also and give a output? I
So
don't know. I'm just.
it depends on what you
thinking
want to
out
do.
loud.
So for example, the first line which we have, right, there we are trying to filter the rows. So that's why it goes to
Yeah,
goes inside filter.
within filter.
Yes. So filter expects a
Yes, yes, yes.
so between gives you that. Correct. So it depends on
Okay,
what you want to
okay.
do.
Rana, can you explain line 101 in Deepti's screen one more time?
Okay.
So we have the curly braces, which is supposed to stop the flights from being passed on to between. Is that correct?
Hmm.
Yes. So whenever we are using pipe operator, right? So for example, flights will go as first argument to between, right? But using curly braces, we are telling, okay, don't pass flights as first argument to between. Flights is standalone. Nothing happens. So nothing from left hand side goes to right hand side. And that's why I guess even if you use without dollar, it doesn't it cannot find departure time basically. So if you remove that dot dollar dip time, it gives that dip time cannot be found.
And what does the dot dollar? What is the dot dollar doing here?
Dot
That again
is
means, yeah, sorry.
yeah. So dot basically is the current data that we are using. So here that data is
Yes,
flights. So from that dot we are
flights.
using dollar. We are taking out the column name departure time.
Yeah, column. Yes, yes.
So my question is that if the curly braces are preventing flights from being passed on from the left hand side to the right hand side, how is the dot kind of how does between know that flights is the dataset that we're working on?
Okay. The data set is still present, but it's not the first argument of between. So curly braces is stopping flights to be the first argument of between. So it's not the first argument in between now,
Okay.
right? So if you remove that curly braces, that would be flights would become the first argument in between.
Yeah, no,
So
that I
the
got.
curly braces are only to prevent between, like it's only related to between basically.
Yeah, I have never used curly braces and dot operator together because I thought what Ronak was saying. Can we just try to remove the curly braces and check and keep dot and this thing? I know it won't. I just want to be.
Yeah. Mm, no, it doesn't work.
Okay.
So I think Ronak, my question is that if in that line, if from what you're saying is that the dot should work, so we don't need to. So basically, when you say that by using the curly braces, flights is not the first argument in between. Are the curly braces preventing between to read flights altogether, or
No,
is
no,
it?
no. It is not preventing flights being read, but okay, between does not get the first argument from left hand side. That's what it is stopping.
But it's still able to use flights as the data set.
Yes, it can use that. So it depends. So basically, when you after pipe operator, when it goes to between, if you don't use curly bracket, the first argument is by default flights, right? Or whatever is there on LHS.
Yes.
Right. So for example, the code which you sent, which is flights, dollar, departure time, and then pipe, and then between. So
Yeah.
by default, that is the first argument.
Yep.
But when you are using curly braces, so that it avoids, so between does not get its first argument basically from left hand side. The rest all the data is still there. You can still access each and every column from flights there.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Aditi, you had something to say?
No. I think,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Then I think we can move to the yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't think we can use this code. Yeah. We can't do this. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Okay, we can move on to the next question, I think. Yeah. So, okay, how many flights have a missing departure time? What other variables are missing? What might these rows represent? Okay. So, yeah, for everything missing, we can use the is NA operator to get out whatever is missing in the data set. So this is all that is missing and in the departure time, and there are 8,000 other rows that are missing. So what they're asking us is what might these rows represent? So I'm not sure what these rows represent. I think these might be cancelled flights, probably. Maybe. So that's why they have a NA in their departure time. So that is what I think that's what it represents. Yeah. Okay. Why is NA par 0 not missing? Why is NA or true not missing? Why is false and NA not missing? Can you figure out the general rule? NA into 0 is a tricky counterexample. Okay, we can go through it. So NA into 0 is not missing because anything par 0 is 1. So it doesn't work like that. So it's not NA. And false and NA is false. So why is false and NA not missing? I think here it is because and satisfies both and should satisfy both the conditions. Only then it gives the final output. And here the false is satisfied. So false and NA will give you false. So this is just a working of the operator of and or. So NA or true will be true. Again, because yeah, one of the condition is satisfied here, and NA into 0 will give NA because NA can be anything. It need not be a number or anything. It can be infinity infinity or negative infinity. So NA into NA into 0 will give us NA. So not 0. So that is why it is NA, if my understanding is right. Any inputs, anybody, if anybody wants to tell anything about this? Or okay, I think we can move to the next function here, that is arrange. Okay, arrange works similarly to filter, except that instead of selecting rows, it changes their order. And I think by default, what arrange does is it sorts in ascending, and otherwise, if required, we can sort it in descending. Okay, how could you arrange to sort all the missing values to the start? Um, okay. Here I did a descending departure delay. So I think, okay, how do you arrange to sort all missing values to the start?
I think adding a is.na within the descending function would do the trick.
Would work.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, after descending, I put an is NA and
Yeah.
okay. Okay, yeah. So this, okay, yeah, this will give me this will sort all the missing values from the start.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Just a second. Okay. Sort flights to find the most delayed flights, find the flights that left earliest. Okay, most delayed flights, again, I think descending departure delay will give me the most delayed flights. And yeah, this will uh, take care of it. And find the flights that left earliest will be the other way around, right? Just arranging the departure delay. That's what I think it is. Okay. I think this will give the flights that left earliest, if I'm not wrong. Okay, sort flights to find the fastest flights. Okay, the fastest, yeah, the fastest flights will be the airtime. Again, I had to go see the column names of flights to understand which column I had to filter to get this out. So the highest speed will be the least airtime. So yeah, this will give me the desired output for that. Which flights traveled the farthest and which traveled the shortest? Okay, then here I will have to filter the distance column. And yeah, so for farthest will be this, the second one. If I sort it descending, then I will get the flight which traveled farthest. And if I sort it, yeah, here. And if I sort it in the ascending order, I will get the flights that traveled the shortest distance. Yeah, so which is 17 here. Okay. Yeah, so that is the exercises in arrange. And yeah, for the next session, I will be going forward with all the rest of the 4 chapters. I hope that is okay. And yeah, that's about it for now. In any questions, any inputs is all welcome.
Does anyone know how to? So we used a lot of that in operator today. I was wondering if there's
Yes.
a keyboard shortcut to add that.
Oh,
Any thoughts?
I personally am not aware of a keyboard shortcut for it. Like how we have a keyboard shortcut for pipe operator, which is super easy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know a keyboard shortcut for this, but I think we can figure it out. There'll definitely be one. I think we can search and figure that out. Surely, yeah.
Deepthi, thank you for working through the exercises. It was super helpful.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Meenakshi. I had a hectic week, so I kept it short and simple. In the next week, I'll complete the entire chapter. I think we had decided it last time also that we'll do it part by part. So yeah, thank you for cooperating. Thank you for supporting everybody.
Yeah, no, that was great. Hey, I missed part of that discussion with the between. I have not used between, but was it resolved with
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah.
the filter in between?
Yeah, I really learned something new. I did not know the use of curly brackets. Uh, So yeah, so the thing is that when we use the pipe operator, the function on the right hand side, it takes the first argument as the as the object that we are passing on the left hand side, and that's why so between was taking flights as its first argument, whereas it should take flights $departure time as its first argument.
So there is no filter in the suggestions. I'm just looking at the chat. So the goal of the thing was to filter, right? So I was going to use something like this.
Well, I don't really know. We didn't come to a conclusive answer of how to use between in the pipe operator, but I just quickly tried arrange and in the pipe operator, and it seemed to work perfectly. The data set pipe operator and arrange seemed to work well, but we couldn't come to a conclusive answer of how to use between and the pipe operator. So I think we'll have to figure it out. I'm not sure how to do it.
Okay, so my understanding is that the pipe operator expects another replier verb after it. So between is just specifying values.
Okay.
But if
yeah, I was also thinking on the same lines. Okay, you just put the code here. Let me just quickly try it. I'm sorry I stopped sharing my screen, but yeah, this works perfectly. Thank you so much, Meenakshi. Yeah, yeah, I think, this was what my question was to Ronak too, when I also thought the same thing, that there has to be a filter and then the between has to go within the filter. It doesn't go standalone, but yeah, this works perfectly. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Actually, Ronak did give a solution to it. You can use between, just that you cannot have the first. You should be careful of what is your first argument. And curly braces are something used for stopping your first argument to be the object before.
But his code didn't work. I don't know. The code that he put up here, it didn't give the desired result. So
no, the desired result is a logical vector only, no? In filter also, what it does is it will give you a logical vector, and then it filters it out.
Okay, right. Correct. Okay, yes. Now I got it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the clarity. Yes. Now I got it. So what Ronak's code is doing, it is working, but yes, it's giving a logical operator or logical output. But yeah, when we use the filter, we are getting the actual values out. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
A very stupid question. So how do we turn the logical vector that we are getting into?
Yes, but only when we put the filter thing, we get the actual values out, right? Yeah, great. Thank you for this clarity, Aditi. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, yes, Arnab. Sorry, we were just rattling out. Yeah,
No.
please tell me.
So my question was, how do we so let's say that we are trying to use the curly brackets which gives us a vector of logical values. How do we then use that to get a table of?
I would then subset those true values from the overall table. But I have an idea. Can we just use Ronak's last example and then do filter after that?
Yeah, I was just trying that. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
So
Thank
this works in the sense that it gives us the vector of true or false. I was thinking this should work, but it doesn't.
No, I would suggest, how about filter after between?
After between?
No. After the whole line. Like again a pipe operator and then filter, just bracket. I think you have an extra.
Yeah, I have an extra bracket, sorry.
No, okay. Then we have to, we cannot use this way.
Just thinking out loud.
Okay.
now.
Yeah, otherwise you have to subset your true and take those values out.
Yeah.
Of course, using the index.
Woo! This worked.
Oh,
Awesome. This is no different from what Meenakshi sent us. We don't even need the.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
exactly the same other version of what she said.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a
It also can be used. Yeah.
very roundabout way of doing a.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
but
what
still
I
it worked.
yeah, I mean, the thing that I learned today was the use of these curly brackets. I did not know that it
Yeah,
kind of
that
blocks
was,
it.
yeah,
For me as well.
Yeah.
that was very informative. Yeah, correct.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Deepthi.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you,
thanks,
everybody.
Deepthi.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. I
So
think we can leave the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We meet next
So we
week
meet
again.
next week. Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye. Have a nice day. Bye.
Yeah.